Welcome back. You're listening to Real Talk with Brian and Dan on 1150 KKNW.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Dan. Our first guest today is Christine Archer of Christine Archer Interiors. Christine is the creative and driving force behind Christine Archer Interiors. She has a true passion for interior design and innovation. Christine excels in transforming a home into a spectacular showcase rich with color and beautiful accessories. Her keen eye for detail and style, as well as her execution, sets her apart. Published in industry-leading publications, Christine has been featured in home decor magazines and books such as Seattle Homes and Lifestyle, Spectacular Homes of the Pacific Northwest, and Visions of Design, an inspired collection of North America's finest interior designs. Wow. Welcome to the show, Christine.
Thank you both for having me.
Oh, my gosh. It sounds like I need to go pull these publications out.
They're really fun to look at.
That's awesome. So before we jump into the interior design, we like our listeners to get to know you. So when you're not interior designing, what are some of your hobbies and activities that you like to do here in the Pacific Northwest?
I love to garden. I'm always gardening and in the yard, and I love to cook. And I think that all kind of wraps around to the home.
The home, right?
And, you know, interior design is my first love by far, but right behind those would be gardening and cooking.
That's awesome.
I love to entertain and have people over, and it's all about creating a beautiful table and beautiful food to go with it.
With the whole cabin fever thing going on, my wife has been cooking a lot. She's like, I need to get back to work. I'm cooking all this stuff. I'm like, this is some good food.
So we like to ask each guest to share a fond memory about the home you grew up in. Where did you grow up?
I grew up all over. My dad transferred a lot, so I never had a house that we lived in for more than probably 4 years. So I think that's kind of helped me become an interior designer, as I got to redo my room every year, and then my mom would take me over, you know, with her hand to go pick out furniture for the new house. So then we would always be moving into new homes.
So how is it that you knew that you wanted to become an interior designer?
I knew when I was 8 years old.
Whoa.
We had a basement, and I took chalk and I drew out the house that I pretended that I lived in. I had my parents' old sectional down there. I took my sister's old crib, and I took our old little kitchen set, and I played house down there. And I drew it into rooms, and I decorated it as if I was a grown-up with my own house. And I think that was the first time that I was like, this is what I want to do.
So it sounds like you're still doing that.
I'm still doing it.
Fun.
I was born this way. It's in my blood. I just love it so much.
So why are you a great designer to hire?
Because I really can relate to the homeowners, and I treat their home, and I love their home as much as if it was my own home, and I want the best outcome for them, and I treat the clients that way.
So what does your process look like in that? Like when somebody approaches you, you get a phone call. Christine, we've heard great things about you. What is kind of give me the short snapshot of your process?
So everybody's process is different. Everybody's needs are different. So first I say, let's get out to your house. Let's show me your house. Show me what you love about your house, what you don't love about your house. And then maybe I see things in your house that you don't see. Maybe we just move a piece of furniture here, or maybe we do need to do a remodel. But that very first appointment is so important, and it's tied into finding out what your needs are. And you may not even know what your needs are until I come out to your house. And then we come up with a plan after that. And we go through, like I said, everyone's different. If it's a remodel or if you just need drapes and furniture. And then I show you pictures, and I look for your reaction too. I look, and people don't realize it, but I'll just sit back and watch them if I show a piece of fabric, and all of a sudden they're like, oh. And then I was like, okay, you like blue, you know, and that kind of leads me, because not everyone knows what they like.
Right.
Or I'll show them pictures and catalogs, and they'll be like, oh, that's beautiful. Or they'll be just the opposite. I hate that. And then I'm like, okay, let's put that aside. But after we're done with that first meeting, I get to really know who you are, and we really find a sense of what direction we need to go into.
That's great.
Yeah, it's interesting. I can so relate to that, because I find in working with buyers, once I get to know them and they know me, and relax together, we walk through the door of a house, I know if it's the one in 30 seconds just by that read. And then we go through the steps to confirm. I mean, there's many steps after that, but that's the importance of preparing a home for sale. But I know from experience, by those kind of reactions, if it's the right home, and I usually know within 30 seconds.
And that's the rule. And I always tell somebody,
Yeah.
people judge your home within 30 seconds of walking in.
They do. So what are your favorite trends that you're seeing for 2020?
I'm seeing. Well, we all know that Pantone Blue has come out.
Oh, there you go.
Dusty blue.
What is it? Dusty blue?
It's a really pretty dusty gray blue.
Is it different from the robin's egg blue?
You know, blues can be blues.
I'm telling you.
But I'm just.
My wife and I
Kind
had
of
that
like your
conversation.
cabinets, right?
You did a great job picking it. As soon as
Thank
I
you.
saw your cabinets, I was like, oh, you've got Pantone Color of the Year.
Yay.
Yay.
So blue's a great color, and it's actually everyone's number one color, man or woman.
Really?
It seems to be one of the number one colors. So that's going to be a great 2020.
Seems like a
moving
good
forward.
palette, right? Because you can work around it.
There's a lot of colors you can add to it, too, that could really make it fresh. Another thing I see a lot of is a lot of black and white is very popular, and a lot of black windows are becoming a big trend this year.
I saw one down by the lake. They had black windows going in, black framed. Is it what is it? Aluminum? They look like they're aluminum.
Like an anodized aluminum?
Yeah.
Yes,
Or are
and
they black vinyl?
they could be either. They could be
Interesting.
either. It's really huge in the new construction, and new windows are going that way. Don't ask me how long the trend will be. I don't know, but it's a very more modern,
Interesting.
contemporary look. With that being said, bringing the black and white in, then we need to bring texture in. And so bringing texture in is very important if you're going to go into that direction of black and white.
By texture, we're talking on the floor, yeah?
That's one way of adding texture. Wallpaper, seagrass wallpaper could
Is
be
back?
huge. Oh, it's back. It's fabulous. And blankets, baskets, some easy ways to accessorize. Those are other texture ways to add.
What's the deal with all the pendants? That seems to be such a big thing.
Well, not so much.
Are they going away?
I'm not going to say they're going away. A lot of times they're doing one big piece of chandelier over the island,
Yeah.
or two bigger pieces instead of the three small pendants going
Pendants,
over the
right?
island.
Yeah.
And really depends on the scale of the island or the area. And that's what is really important. I think that's people's most hardship in a kitchen is knowing scale. And they all tend to just to go run and buy three little small pendants when the space can really hold something big. And they don't realize they're just really shrinking the space instead of making the space look bigger.
Oh, interesting.
So what are your favorite parts of the house to decorate?
I love everything. Absolutely everything.
The question says, what's your favorite parts? And you're saying, oh, I love it all.
Well,
so
the
there's got to
kitchen
be
is-
something that stands out.
The kitchen is the heart of the home
Okay.
and the family area, and that's where everybody ends up. So let's just make that, and it's the number one selling reasons of a house is how great your kitchen is.
The kitchen, yeah.
And second would be
Master.
master bath. But so why wouldn't you want that to be the best?
Good
Okay.
point. Where do you look for inspiration?
I love Amazon. I'm not Amazon. Pinterest and
Yeah.
House is great to look at, and Instagram. I do a lot of Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Any particular accounts you like looking at on Instagram? If you can remember. I don't know.
Well, I love Rachel Parcells. She did a beautiful house. She's a fashion blogger as well.
Okay.
She's awesome. And I like to know where your home is another one that's awesome. And Angela, the creator, who is out of Arizona, has just become one of my new favorites and is doing these incredible houses and a great designer as well.
Awesome. So lighting, we talked a little bit about that, and it's super important to you. Why?
Well, most people don't realize how important lighting is. We all need overhead lighting, but then we also need mood lighting. And one thing that you'll walk into a room and they'll have two lamps, okay, and they're on one side of the room, and you don't know what's wrong with that side of the room. You might feel lopsided or you don't understand, but something's wrong. You need a minimum of a triangle of lighting in a room to feel balanced. And if you don't have that, you will not feel balanced in that room. And that's just like one of the tricks of, being a designer that most people don't know, that, I try to help them make sure that when they're in a room that they have that relaxed, I feel equal, I feel good in that space.
I thought it was just the vertigo.
No.
That's interesting because I never really thought about a triangle.
Now, every time you walk into a room, you're going to be like, she's right.
It's too dark.
So,
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
yeah.
So are there other small changes that can make a big impact?
Paint. Paint is huge.
Okay.
And a lot of people now, you don't have to redo your whole kitchen. Sometimes we're just doing a lot of painting your cabinets. And you could pick any color you want to do. Or we could paint your cabinets a beautiful white surround and do a really fun color for your island. Green or blue, or whatever, your choice is. And then we could sprinkle that color throughout the room and the adjoining room and cross-pollinate a little bit of that color. So it's something that you could add a little color in a small space to give a great impact.
Yeah. And I would say one of the things in defense of calling somebody like Christine is, I know Brian and I have gone in a lot of homes, and you'll go into a home and you'll think to yourself, this was their best thinking that came up with this design or this color or this floor plan or whatever it is, and you're just kind of scratching your head because it makes it hard to sell.
Yes.
Right.
And whether or not there are things that you can do that are timeless when you're doing a remodel on an interior, and there's some things that were like just perfect for you. Don't do that. Find somebody like Christine. But are we talking an arm and a leg? I mean, how much does this
No.
process cost?
I mean, like I said, everybody has a different need, but I can't stress highly enough, by investing into your home, it is only going to make you money. It is most people's biggest asset that they have, and it is the biggest thing that makes them money. So now, why not put money into it, which is only going to bring you more money in the end when it's time to sell.
Well, and putting money in the right spots, right? Like we just talked about
Absolutely.
pendants, right? It's like, oh yeah, the standard is 3 pendants when the island is, or the peninsula is short. Now it's crowded. It feels crowded. You don't know why it's crowded. Yeah, I think
Space is everything, and knowing what the correct dimensions are to go into certain spaces is very big. And most people don't know that. That is a great reason why you should be calling an interior designer, so you can know which fits in a space. A lot of times people think that putting little furniture in a little room will make the room look bigger, which is not the case. Usually doing a bigger piece of furniture in a smaller room can make the room look bigger.
Oh.
So the time we have left, so probably a fairly short answer. Christine and I were chatting before the show, and I was very pleased to learn process, start to finish. Could you do a quick outline on start to finish process? I mean, I was impressed with the fact that you take it from start to finish.
Yes.
The client has an option for that.
Absolutely. I come in and consult, and we come up with a plan. And once the plan is made, whether it is we're remodeling the kitchen or we're just doing drapes and furniture, I take it from the beginning to the end. I have people that work on with me to help that happen. I will manage the whole remodel or the whole design process, whatever has to happen. Like I said, everyone's individual. And I will take it to the very end, accessorize, and till you have a beautiful room or a beautiful home.
Excellent. Diane, if you're listening, we're going to have an appointment soon with Christine.
So at the end of the day, any time in the process, how do our listeners get a hold of you?
You can look at my website with archerco.com or call me at 425-802-1549.
Archerco.com.
Archerco.com.
Get lots of pictures of work and.
You could see some of my work on there, my before and afters.
All right, awesome.
Perfect.
Well, Christine, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yep.
All right. Do you happen to have any special offers for any of our listeners right now?
Yes, anything that's purchased through me, I would be happy to give 10% off.
Awesome. Very good. All right. All right. Coming up after the break, we've got David Jensen with the Jensen Mortgage Group. So come on back right after this break.